Hello, everyone. We've made it. Hello and welcome to the Teams Show here on the Blue Abroad YouTube channel. It is Thursday, the 8th of May, 2025. We are here ahead of round 9 against St Kilda, and there's a lot going on. Why is there always so much going on with Carlton? There's a lot happening, and we're going to cover every single angle of it here on the Team Show. Of course, we are brought to you by Mr. Cabinets. You will see Mr. Cabinets in the top right-hand corner of your screen. We are proud to be sponsored by them for a second year running. And we are, what are we? We are an hour and 20 minutes-ish, an hour and 10, an hour and 20 minutes away from finding out the teams. We have team news before the teams are announced. We will see what the leaks are. LS, I see you in the chat. Huss might be in the chat soon. And we'll go through the press conference from Vossi this morning. And we'll just check in on each other. And also, we will be doing the giveaway. So, there it is. Someone is taking home the full tracksuit. The 1999 International Rules tracksuit. Someone's going to take that home tonight. Well, someone will win tonight. I'll send it out tomorrow. What I'll do is I'll spin the wheel after the teams are announced. So hang tight. Entries to the comp will close at about 6 p.m. So if you haven't yet purchased a ticket, the link is pinned to the live chat. If you are a member of Blue Abroad, you already have an entry. It's automatically in there. If you would like more entries, of course, you are more than welcome to purchase some more. Okay. Who's here? Well, actually, wait, can we just confirm something? Charlie's not injured. From the club, Charlie's not injured and he's going to play. It's been a fascinating morning. I still can't believe, I'm going to get into it later on. I can't believe the odds of being there and seeing it when it happened and how it all played out. But I'm going to touch on it later. Say hello first. Ghosts behind the sun. Hey, mate. Logan, any mail? There probably will be mail. I think we know for sure that Jack Silvani and Charlie Curnow are playing. Curno's not really, he was never, I mean, I guess he could have not been playing from last night, but Curnow's staying in the side. Jack Silvani is apparently back, so we'll see what that means. Aiden, if Pito, Doc, Motlop are in the same team, I'm not even kidding. I'm seeking my ticket. Can't be asked. Hang on. Selling my ticket. I won't bother watching it. I'll be slow and brutal seeing them three play. Aiden, there's one thing I'll guarantee in life about your statement here. You will be watching, even if all three of them are named. You will be talking about the game, even if all three are named. And we will see your name pop up on this screen next week or tomorrow or somewhere online on Twitter or somewhere if all three are named. I guarantee that. Damien, Savani, and Binns in for Doc and Young. Interesting. Is that a prediction? Hello, Lou. Hello, Julie. Patrick. Rowan. Actually, before I catch up to the bottom of this chat, I'm going to put the link in the chat if anyone wants to join. Rocco Morrow. Hello. Dione. Sawadee Kap. Hello, mate. LS, the leaks are back. Does anybody have the leaks? Anybody have the mail? Hi, everyone. Binns needs to play. Hello, Partizan. Peter V. Hello, Maz. Chills. Sammy. Robert. Matula. Hello. Hello. Just finished work. Good to have you here. LS, you won't ruin the show. No, you won't ruin the show. You can tell us. You can tell us if you know. Yassel Jimmy. Eleanor, you're very worried about this week. Hopefully Motlop, Doc, and I don't see the rest of your comment. That tracksuit is coming to my joint for sure. We'll see. It's such a cool piece, man. What up, Corin? I'm good, mate. Can we get my thoughts on TDK talk on SEN? Yeah, we can. I'll touch on it shortly. I've got it as a part of the show. We'll get to it. We'll definitely get to it. Eleanor, hoping they make some changes. You'd like to see Motlop, Doc, and Young out and bring Boyd, Silvani, and yep. Good morning, Paul. Sensing the club are at a crossroads moment now. Win and we move on. Losing, big questions will be asked on the direction that the coaching group are taking us. Could not agree more with this. Been getting hammered at work all day. What's the news? What's the news? Well, I'll get to it. There's a lot going on. Good to see you here, Fermi. Richard, Slobbo, where have you been? I don't think I saw you last week. Vossi was fired up. Okay. Charlie's fit enough to play. I wouldn't say he's not injured. Oof. Okay. Is the game good? You mean AFL 26? Danny, hello, mate. Please never stop the Footy Abroad show. Love it. I love it too. It's good fun. I love Carlton, but I also need a break from Carlton. And I think it's one of the best things I've personally added to my week to be able to talk about other things. The club must sense the fans' unrest, judging by the members' survey they put out this week. Oh, I like it. Jay Baggers, CC is fine, just a small leak, only if Ted says so. Listen, if you have the mail, put the mail in the chat. We'll see what we'll see. Kachinka. What up, C-Pash? Good to see you. Aiden, you'll go on a generational crush out. I would actually like to see it. Maybe not tomorrow. I don't want to lose to St Kilda. Hello, Robbie. You love the team show. It's like the final cleanse of the week prior. True. Hello, Alana. Jimmy, what do I think of what Voss was wearing at his presser? I'll get to it. I will get to it. John, Pete, LS. Mate, drop the damn leak already, unless you already have. I'm just catching up on everything. Wayne, hello, mate. Hello, Enzo. You had a good feeling against the Crows and we got thumped. I don't have a good feeling against the Saints in the Deconing Cup. Okay. Watto. Here we go. LS. Binns and Silvani in. Doc and Carroll out. Okay. All right. We'll just keep a tab on that. Maybe Blue Baggers, you're driving down from Sydney for your second ever game in Melbourne. They better pull their finger out. Ain't that the truth? Eleanor, you're sick. Chichio, whatever happened to the bird from the US? Cindy, mate, Cindy's doing great things. Grant, Boyd must come in. We might see if we can watch some of the VFL highlights from last week. All right, I've got Andy in the waiting room. I'm going to bring him in. Andy? Can you hear me, mate? Hey, mate, can you hear me? Hello? Maybe we'll just listen right so we can hear me. Hello? Andy?
You there, Tez?
Yeah, I am, mate. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Sorry, it just took ages to connect. How are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, pretty flat after last week. So, yeah, I've mentioned on the show a few times, but I'm an Adelaide boy, so I went to the game last week
Oof.
and sat high in the stands behind the goals on the south stand. So we had a pretty good vision of the team and how they were setting up, and it was just sort of win the ball out the back, hand pass, kick to the half forward line, players were 15 metres off their man, goal. And it was just rinse and repeat. And I was just sitting there just getting angrier and angrier and never have said so many consecutive F-bombs. And Just sort of wondered what went wrong. But it was funny because the week before I actually came to Melbourne and I watched the Geelong game. And I was sitting with the members and I took my son, and it was like one of the best games we've ever been to live. And you just think, what changed? Like, what happened? How can you go 1 week being so good and the next week being so bad? And I think the big thing for me was just sort of starting to get that belief back that they had maybe turned a corner. That was probably the biggest disappointment for me. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to make a guess here. I think everyone wants to believe.
Yeah.
But a lot of people struggle to believe, and that's because of the way that the team is so inconsistent, and they've lost trust early this year. Then they lost it even more so with the way that they started the season, and then took a step forward in maybe regaining a little bit of faith and belief, and then just washed it all down the drain within 4 quarters against the Crows. So I don't know. I don't blame anyone. I mean, I might agree or disagree with certain takes around, sack the coach now and things like that. But I don't blame anyone who has lost faith. Like, I get it.
Yeah, they're. I think, like, especially being an Adelaide fan, we've been beaten pretty much the same way the last 3 or 4 years of playing Adelaide at Adelaide Oval. And obviously the team has changed a fair bit since then, but they seem to always, like, kill us in the midfield. Our players just look like they're just so bereft of energy and confidence, and it just seems like, having gone to all of these games like that, we get beaten the same way. And that's the most frustrating thing, is like the planning for the game. It's like, all right, well, we got beaten last year like this. It's a new season. We got a new, do we have any new tactics? Do we learn from past mistakes? And Voss, after the game, he was just like so pissed off. He's like, everything that we planned for, all the matchups that we planned for, he said nothing worked. Like, nothing worked. And I'm just like, well, how does that happen? How does nothing work that you've planned for? How does everything that Nick's planned for work? And I get it. You can have off nights, but they always seem to have an off night when they come to SA, and that just kills me. Like, if you knew the supporter base here for the Crows, Terry, like, they are the most. They're so hard to handle. Like, they just. There's a reason why, the Port and Crows fans feud so much, because the Crows are just these entitled fans, don't like you supporting your own team. They're really tough to take. So when you beat them, it's just so sweet. And because we haven't beaten them in 15 years. Like, Favola was still playing the last time we beat Adelaide in Adelaide. When you haven't won that long here, it's just really hard to stomach. So I left fuming, and everyone, all my Adelaide work colleagues who love the Crows, oh, what happened? And they were like, what happened? They weren't even giving me shit. They were just like, what was that? And I'm like, mate, if we knew, it would be a lot better. So, yeah, real tough game. And this week, no doubt, is going to be another one of those teams that just seems to always challenge us for some reason. I don't know what you think. Like, St Kilda, every time we play them, there's just something different in the air. Like, we never look like we're in control. And if we win, it's always, grab your ball. It's always close and tough and so difficult to beat them. And, Ross Lyon, I don't know, he seems to take a great deal, I think, of admiration in beating us as well. And, there's definitely something. Yeah.
Well, I think that's what makes tomorrow's I don't think there'll be a, if we win tomorrow, I don't think there'll be it was only St Kilda. I think for the reason you just said there, it is always a tough game. Ross Lyon is a respected coach. He always does put a plan together where they're always up for it against the Blues. So if we are to beat them tomorrow, I don't think it'll be dismissed like the West Coast game and the North Melbourne game were dismissed, So we're going to have to, the team's going to have to play at a high level to win tomorrow. That's the truth.
Do you care about what people say when we win? Like, because there's been a lot of talk about, if you win, it's only this person. Like, for me, I don't care. I just want to win. Like, if people say, you beat North Melbourne, well done, I'll be like, that's one more win that we didn't have. So, like, if we beat St Kilda, I'm not worried about the St Kilda fans going, you only beat us. I don't care. Like, I'm not at that point in this season where I need to be validated by who we beat. I just want to win. Like, I just want our team to put ourselves in a position where we win.
Well, the reality is you got to win, I think 13 games.
Yeah.
Give or take, maybe 12, 13 games, say 13 games to play finals footy. So you got to win 13 times. And then if you want to make the top four, I think you probably need to win 16 or 17 times. So, you got to bank those wins and qualify for finals and hopefully top four. And like right now, it looks like absolutely no chance. But we're 3-5. Yeah. It's round 9. I might go through the fixture later. There is a lot of football to play, like a lot. There's still, I think I was starting to drift into season's over mentality. And then I realized I'm not a loser and I don't just give up at the drop of a hat. And I just think there is time to turn it around. And what Carlton seem to always do is they seem to, as quickly as possible, remove any breathing room that they have. It's like when you're at school, when you had assignments and you wouldn't do it until the last second and you would leave all this time. So I still think they can turn things around and click and figure it out. But the inconsistency from week to week, they've got to bridge the gap ASAP.
Yeah, I think people forget, and I'm not the most positive believer in our season just with what I've seen, but a thing that I remind myself with is at the 3-quarter mark of the season, the best teams in the comp, that's when they start really getting their shit together and build into finals. And you always see it every year. Like, you have a look at Sydney last year. Sydney were awesome the whole year. And then at the 3-quarter way mark, they started to get the speed wobbles. And then they went into finals and luckily got through, if not for a couple of kicks against GWS, and then got belted in the grand final. So if anything, I don't care to be average now. You want to be starting to hit your straps at that time of the season and build into finals. And the other thing that I find with AFL, teams go to work on the best teams. So the top teams at the moment are Collingwood and Brisbane. If they continue to be good, teams are just going to plan to beat them. So, if you look at Hawthorn had lost their first 5 last year. They were horrid. Then they started going on this run, and people sort of almost they were quiet achievers. No one really took notice until bang, end of the season, they've all of a sudden hit the finals and they were starting to challenge. So I think there's an element of that as well, where if we can get our shit together after the halfway mark and we've won enough games to sort of keep us in finals contention, you never know what can happen. That's the optimist. The pessimist in me is seen it all before, and I don't think we'll be able to do anything with what we've got. So it can go one or two ways, but I guess you just have to be sort of positive with what can happen. I think the big thing for me this week, I think, is definitely number one. Obviously, you need the players to respond, but you need to have plans in the coaching box, not to just nullify them. We obviously have to have our plan, but the thing with Voss that I don't know if it's one of the biggest criticisms I've got is, what are they best at, St Kilda? What can we take away or make it harder for them to do what they want to do, and then use our strengths to exploit that? Whereas every time I hear a presser and when I watch the games, it's, we've just got to focus on us. We've got to focus on us. So I get that. Yeah, you do. But if they've got like one player in their team that if that player has a bad game, they lose, well, then do something about that player or do something about, you know what I mean? That's the stuff that as a fan, I want to see more of. Like, and I've seen Vossi do it in the past, like when we played Geelong last year and they, you know, they put Chincotta on Tom Stewart and it just, you know, they couldn't move the ball out the back half and it started getting into their heads. And then Chincotta's kicking goals and, you know, like we ended up doing a number on them. Little things like that, I think, can go a long way. So obviously, Wangan Miller, Jack Higgins kicking a bucket of goals. Jack Sinclair always does really well on us. You know, Jack Steele's not having the greatest of times over the last few years. He usually tags Cripps and then we lose. So I don't look at him as a real threat, but no doubt they'll maybe put him to Hewitt. So, and then what do we do with Cripps? Then you got Cripps. Cripps is still a good player. So there's all those little things that I think will come into it. So, yeah, I just, you know, the one thing I wanted to see against Adelaide was if you're going to lose, fine, but just be competitive. So it's, again, if you're competitive, if we're hungry and we tackle and we chase and we set up structurally, we've got more firepower than them, we'll beat them. But if they come out with this half-assed attitude like they did against Adelaide, you're going to lose to every team.
Yeah, no, that's good points. Well, see what happens. What have you got on right now?
I'm at my son's basketball training. So yeah, I'll go in a minute and get around him. But yeah, I'd love to be in Melbourne this weekend because I think at the G will be quite a good game, and I'm sort of happy that it's at the G and not Marvel. I think that does help us because St Kilda just love Marvel Stadium. So
yeah.
Anyway, go well, Terry. Get a few screams in. Make sure you represent, and hopefully we talk again next week after we've flogged the Saints.
Fingers crossed, mate. You take care.
Yeah. Easy.
See ya. Aiden, here he is.
How are you?
Angry Aiden this week, mate. Angry man.
It's been angry Aiden since round one.
That's true. You have been angry Aiden since round one.
I did tell you in preseason that I'm going to keep a lid on it until they actually show me something, and so far I have. So, yeah. What do you do? But, yeah, just here for a little chat, see how you're going. So,
yeah. What do you think of, well, I mean, you mentioned in the chat earlier, so if Doc, what did you say? If Doc, Motlop and Pitto are playing, then you won't watch? Is that what you
said? Yeah. I probably over-exaggerate a little bit, but apparently Pitto isn't playing, and apparently Doc is dropped. So, yeah, I don't know how true that is come 6:20, but, yeah,
wait, I
don't know.
Team selection is going to happen in about an hour, maybe a little bit less, right? Like 50 minutes. What specific in and outs would you need to see to say nothing about team selection and be satisfied?
The
Doc out? You don't want to see? Yeah.
Yeah, Doc out because, he has been performing well. I wouldn't mind seeing Motlop not play because he's been terrible, to put it bluntly. But again,
we know Silvani will come back.
Yeah, Silvani. But again, like with Motlop, like who are you going to replace him with? Because you tell me. I don't know. Because apparently everyone's been playing pretty badly in the VFL, and I don't really watch any VFL. I just look at the stats. But if it was up to me, I'd put in Boyd, Beans, Sauce, and Akers can come out, Doc comes out, and I think, Young, I'm pretty sure. So
Young's in the team.
Yeah, but like, this is what I want to see. I just want to see, just what I just mentioned before. That would probably satisfy me a little bit, but you don't know because there's leaks everywhere. So
if Boyd and Sauce were to come in, who plays in the Motlop role? Boyd, in your view?
No. I didn't say Motlop. I said Motlop before can come out, but then I said who are you going to replace him with, and then that's when I realised, you can't really replace him with anyone because.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I'd like to see Sauce in, Boyd in, Bins in. I think Doc
Boyd
out, Young out, and even Akers can come out as well. He hasn't been playing great. So, how likely will that happen? Probably not likely. I don't think they'll drop Akers for Bins.
I think you need Akers. I mean, he's been poor. He definitely has been poor. His performances. I don't know. I think dropping him and Doc. I mean, first of all, I think if Doc's playing, he shouldn't be anywhere apart from behind the ball. But
they don't play. Did they play him there last week? Because if I'm being honest, I kind of stopped watching after the first half. Sorry.
That enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, I want to watch the presser, so we'll watch the presser. And have you seen it?
Yeah, I saw a few minutes of it. He didn't look happy because everyone kept asking him about Charlie, and then he just said, we're not going to tell you the specifics. He's playing. All right. And
I want to see it.
But I don't know. I'm going tomorrow, by the way. I'll be there tomorrow.
Okay.
So, yeah, for me saying I'm not going, I'm going. So,
like predictions for the game?
I think we'll win by 15, 20 points. They have to respond because if we don't win tomorrow, then you can probably say it's curtains.
Okay.
So
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. All
right, man. Enjoy.
It's a good chat too. See ya.
You too, brother. Bye. All right. I want to see Angry Voss. Let's go. Okay. First things first. No hat. He's not wearing the hat. So there goes that. Voss.
Far away.
How's Charlie?
Oof.
Good. Yeah.
He's going to play?
Yeah. No, he'll be fine.
Let me wait. I'm going to put.
Far away.
How's Charlie?
Good. Yeah.
He's going to play?
Yeah. No, he'll be fine. No, last 30.
Something's off here.
Well, him and Tom had a nice little collision, so it's not exactly what you want to see in the last 30 seconds, but no, they're both fine. So they're all good to go.
One of your key players went down holding his knee.
I tried to have a bit of a laugh to fob it off, but holding his knees incorrect. No, he's fine. So
holding his knees incorrect. Wait.
So it's not exactly what you want to see in the last 30 seconds, but no, they're both fine. So they're all good to go.
One of your key players went down holding his knee.
I tried to have a bit of a laugh to fob it off, but holding his knees incorrect. No, he's fine. So
that's a bit of venom pointed at Mitch Cleary.
Been receiving injections into his knee in recent times.
Nope. No. Before training.
Yeah.
No, that's not the case at all.
So you expect he'll train today?
The question was, has he been receiving injections before training?
And play on Friday night.
That's what I said.
Jack Silvani, how's he progressing?
Good. Yeah. So he should be available. So he trained yesterday, and yeah, he looks like he'll be ready to go. Yeah.
What was the actual scare with Charlie? What was the issue?
Just a knock. Yeah.
To the leg, or
you don't need to know specifics. Let's just say he's playing.
Wow.
Have we got anything else?
Considering,
I think we've been pretty emphatic that Charlie's playing.
You've got the full complement of key position players. Do you consider a change to the balance of your team this week after what happened last week? Do you think that maybe going to taller forward was partly blame, or how have you sort of seen it?
No, we went a bit small last week. Obviously, we ended up playing Lewis, through the game, and
he's a bit pissed off, a bit edgy,
and flipped him forward. So yeah, we obviously played a little bit smaller. Clearly their impact of their I guess called medium sizes that we're having a bit of an issue with throughout the game. But no, look, we've sort of probably over the last month, the recent form says that we've been going okay. But we let ourselves down last week. It was a really sort of disappointing performance. So in some ways, it's just taking that opportunity to be able to sort of reset what really works for us and reinforce, the level of planning we need, the level of detail we need, strengths we need to be able to bring to the game.
Hang on, let me turn it up. Is that better?
It becomes more about the reinforcement, but yeah, it was sort of difficult to know where to start and finish because all three phases never really come together at all throughout the game. So it made it particularly challenging.
Did you move on pretty quickly, or did you review it?
No, review it because you learn as much out of what didn't work as what does work, and we've sort of had enough over the last 3 weeks to look through what has worked for us, and every opposition's coming in and they're going to do their planning, they're going to do their homework, and they just got more their way. And for us, it started very much around the contest. We just lost territory, and the competition's tough. So if you're sort of losing territory enough, it makes it really hard to be able to try and win the game from your back half all the time. So you just want that an even contest. That's all you need. You don't need to be dominating the area, but just be able to get even looks. And again, our midfield's been pretty strong throughout the year, but we lowered our colours around the ball on the weekend.
Is it a concern that when it wasn't going your way that you weren't really able to turn the ship? And have you asked more of your leaders this week, sort of in key moments, to be able to turn the game rather than just sort of be one-way traffic like it was last week?
Yeah, it was a really difficult one to answer. It's difficult to where to start and finish because it just didn't feel like the effort was where it needed to be to give ourselves that chance. So when you chase the game, that feels like what you're doing across the whole day is chasing it. And there's sort of important moments within that obviously would like to have back to get into half time and know you've still got to throw at the stumps. But no, it was hard work for most of the day. So we've addressed that, we've looked at it, and now we've obviously activated it to try and train and reinforce the things that we want to be able to take into this game. But sometimes they're really simple things, and we weren't just able to get those simple things done.
Effort, does that anger you the most as a coach when that isn't brought to game day?
Yeah, it does. And that's probably the disappointing nature of it. Look, our last month, I think, has been, and that's where we take our form from. We take our form out of the last month. And that's probably why it makes it a little bit disappointing because we made a lot of ground in a lot of areas and we weren't able to get that done on the weekend. So we're looking for a response in that and hopefully the boys can get out there and execute as we expect them to.
In a broader football sense, just with the Willie Rioli case,
yep.
Should there be a distinction between what is said on the field and what is sort of said off the field?
The question was, in a broader sense, with the Willie Rioli situation, should there be a difference between what's said on the field and what's said off the field?
That's a good point. Look, I think that what we do is in Clubland is we rely on the AFL Integrity Department to be able to make those distinctions. And, as clubs, that's what we do. There's a process to be run. The Integrity Department looks at it pretty closely. And then we're guided by that, and then what happens off the back of it. So I guess what we tend to do is put our trust in that process. So they've got all the information, they've got the detail they need to be able to make the right decision. So our position remains the same on that: is follow the process, and obviously the Integrity Department can deal with it.
How do you feel towards the way the AFL is disciplining players at the moment, especially over the last 18 months or so? Do you feel like?
Question is, how do you think the AFL are going in terms of disciplining players?
No, I don't think so. Look, I think that's called an Integrity Department for a reason. So you've got to trust it, and they've got a process that they run, and I think they've been fairly consistent from what I can tell. And it's really hard to sort of speculate when you don't have the detail, and I'm sure that there's plenty of detail in there that we don't know. So from us, they take that broader view, and we back that in.
With being the Spud game, which is mental health, focused on mental health. Do we have to be careful what is said on the field now because of that space? There's more focus.
The question is, do we have to be careful with what is said on the field because of the mental health space?
Oh, that's bringing a pretty long bow, I would have thought. But look, if we talk to the game itself, we talk about Spud himself, as a club. Obviously, there's a significant meaning in behind this game. We're obviously privileged the fact that we've been chosen to play in this game. It's obviously clearly an important game to St Kilda. There's very important cause in behind it. But there's also a person that's meant a lot to St Kilda Football Club. So we've been fortunate that in the early parts of this year that we get brought along on those journeys. The Royal Children's Hospital is obviously one we're really proud of to be a part of. The Peter Mac Cup has been one that we've been really proud to be part of. And likewise with Spud's game, it's our first one, and we're looking forward to playing in front of a big crowd in a pretty important moment.
St Kilda did a lot right last week. What sort of challenge did they present you guys this week?
Oh, the main thing I saw from them from the week before was just clearly their pressure, and they were able to sort of get some important clearances. We know they set up really strong defensively behind the ball, so they're going to be two important things in the match. We expect there'll be a lot of numbers around the ball, and they will obviously be hard to score. So that's the space that they'll provide for us. So we just have to be able to be patient and wait for our opportunities.
Sorry to ask you for a fifth time, just around Mike, Charlie Curnow, A-OK?
If your mic's not there, then I'm not answering it for the fourth time.
He did not just ask again if Charlie Curnow is going to play, that reporter.
So,
just on St Kilda, how do you...
Listen, if I was Voss, I mean, I wouldn't because I'd be employed by the club, but he must just want to tell that reporter right there to shut the fuck up.
How do you balance the need to score with shutting down Wayne Miller and Sinclair and being sort of dual weapons for them off half back in the attack? One of them can both. How do you sort of do it?
Yeah, it's a good.
That's actually triggered me. Who was that? Who asked that question again? Who was that?
Space that they'll provide for us, so we just have to be able to be patient and wait for our opportunities.
Sorry to ask you for a fifth time, just around Mike, Charlie Curnow, A-OK?
What do you mean? Is Charlie Curnow A-OK? He answered it 6 minutes ago, bro. That was Nick Butler. Crazy. He's having a laugh.
If your mic's not there, then I'm not answering it for the fourth time. So,
just on St Kilda, how do you balance the need to score with shutting down Wayne Miller and Sinclair and being sort of...
How do you balance the need to score and then shutting down Wanganeen, Miller and Sinclair?
Dual weapons for them off half back in the attack. One of them
yeah,
both. How do you sort of do it?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think sort of there's either the I don't think you can take all of it off the table. That's probably where you rely on your system a lot to be able to help with that. So, small forwards will definitely have their hands full because it's only one part of the game, clearly, on how you take that off the table for them. But they're obviously very, very important players. They've got a few of them, so we've got a few challenges down there. But, it's a little bit about them, but it's a lot about us. And off the back of last week, we've seen when we don't get our system in play and we're not bringing the right effort around contest and we get beaten around the ball, it's a hard day. So we'll look to get that right first, and then we'll sort of see how the game unfolds from there.
There was a report yesterday that State of Origin is going to be locked in for February.
Yep.
How do you feel about losing some of your players to play in that game?
Question was around State of Origin. How would you feel about losing some of your players to play in State of Origin?
Look, I think any opportunity that our players get to be able to represent something is a worthwhile doing. Last year we had the Indigenous game, and it was really important to Zach and it was really important to Motts to be a part of that game, and we embraced their own journey as a football club. And so if there are players out there that get to play in that State of Origin game, they are special games to play in. So obviously there's clearly a fair bit to play out in that about who that is and when that is actually played. But in principle, I would be hugely supportive of it because they're life experiences. And what as a football club we want to be able to do is we also want to have special memories. We obviously want to do that in the context of how we play our season and have those memories and share them together. But then there's going to be players that have their own memories that they want to create, and if they deserve a spot in that team, then we certainly back that in as a football club.
You think pre-season is the best time slot for it?
I'll let others decide that. It probably is, only because the nature of the year is, it's long. It looks like it's going to get longer. So it seems to be the appropriate time to be able to play that. When we talk about the structure of the season, that's probably another conversation. But the ideal opportunity to be able to play these games seem like before the season begins. Cheers. Thank you.
I don't know if I could do what he does. I'll be honest. I just would want to call out some of these people to their face. I think I've got too much of a mouth to do. He must bite his tongue so much. Oh, bizarre. Anyway, so is Charlie playing? Oh man, what did you think of that? I like fiery Vossi. I like fiery, petty Vossi personally. Just let it out, mate. He's pissed off. The boys didn't bring an ounce of effort last week. Call them out. No effort around the contest. Fair enough. That's what it was. That was the truth. Absolutely disgraceful, the effort they put around the contest last week, the boys. So, I don't know. That's my personal take. It comes with the job. They get media training. It does. It does. Maybe my gripe is with the media. Yeah, it's just... I guess old mate wanted to ask the question because he didn't put the Channel 10 microphone in front of Vossi when he asked it, and I guess he wanted the grab for Channel 10. But like, be organised. Put the microphone there before the press conference starts. So, anyway. I agree. Maybe the media should get some training. Hello, Ari. When's the last time I rode a bike? The last time I rode a bicycle was in January. And I'm riding a bike tonight. So, I'll show you what I'm doing tonight. Spud's ride. I am taking part in the Spud's ride. How do I show you what I'm doing? 1 minute. Where do I go? Saints.com. Okay. So tonight at 11 p.m., I will be doing the Spuds ride with Jake from Saints TV, which means basically what I'm doing is I'm riding a bike around the MCG, a 2 guys, 1 bike situation, tandem bike. And we're riding to raise awareness for the Spuds game, the Danny Frawley Centre. So it's for a great cause. If you would like to donate, actually, if you would like to donate to the Spuds game cause, I should give you a link. And the link should be for Jake's team, because Jake's got his own team set up. Saints TV. By the way, an hour on a bike with Jake. What have I done? Like, honestly, what have I done? But it's for a good cause, so I'm okay with it. So copy. This is the link. Oof, damn. That's the link for Jake's, the Saints TV team. If you would like to donate, I don't know if that link works. It probably doesn't. Hang on. Let me shorten the link. 1 minute. Okay. This is... Oh, it works? Oh, okay. Well, there's a shorter link as well. So, yeah, the cause... Look, the cause is great. And it's around men's mental health and speaking up, which I like to promote through doing. I like to, wherever possible, get vulnerable and get deep with you lot. But, obviously it goes without saying. And a lot of you do it as well. A lot of you do actually reach out in private when things aren't going very well. And, yeah, obviously that's what it's all about. And that's what the game tomorrow will be promoting. And that's what we're doing tonight. So from 11 p.m. until midnight, we're riding around the MCG. So that'll be fun. Simon says, Charlie's playing. Charlie is absolutely playing. Kerner is soft as and crap at footy. Cheers, Piglet. Thank you for spending your greatest asset, which is your time in life, to jump on a opposition fan's fan channel, sign into your YouTube account, write a comment about someone who you wouldn't say to their face, thinking it's going to offend someone else. But good stuff, mate. Is the right? No, it's not. It's not being streamed. I would love for it to be streamed, but I thought it was going to be a stationary bike and we would just be riding. It's a bicycle with 2 people on there. Anyway, who's taking the front seat? Well, we're going to do half and half. Jake will do. We're going to split it. I thought the same thing. They are there for clickbait, not to ask reasonable questions. Yeah. I think the press conferences, I mean, if I'm a fan, actually, you know what? You're a fan. You're all fans. Give me an example of a question you would want to have had answered by Michael Voss in the presser this week. I would have gone straight to, what do you think was the reason that the effort around the contest wasn't there? I would have also asked specific questions around some of the guys in the VFL, because I think that is one of the biggest misconceptions in the fan base. It's like, just play Moya or play Lemmy or play Wilson or give him a go. Like, play Binns instead of Motlop. And I think if we got a little bit more around why they're not playing and what they need to work on to be ready, I think it might help. Because I think most people watch the VFL through the stats and then cast judgment as to whether that form line stacks up against who's playing in the ones. But what would you want to know? Tatum's tantrum. Men's suicide, a massive issue. Have personally lost close friends to it. Great effort. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's real. Who is more important to tag, Sinclair or Wanganeen Miller? I think Wanganeen Miller is their best player. But Jake reassures me that Sinclair is their best player. Simon Lyon, and I'm not lying. You're a Lions fan, you love the work on the channel, would love to do a Lions one maybe. Mate, do it. Start it. Piglet's having a bit of a laugh. Leave him. He's projecting. Yep. What is plan B when the contest and pressure aren't working, Voss? It's a good question. Have you confronted the leaders around the full buy-in of the players when their effort is so conditional? Hello, Pommy. Oh, you've come in at the perfect time, mate. It's a big mix. It's a big mix of things happening. Okay. I'd love to hear a response to, what do you put the kicking efficiency down to? Carlton are 17th for kicking efficiency. Talk us through that, Michael. Love that. Zonked Steel, you would ask what they look for in the players in the VFL. Why do you continue to use a game style against the Crows, which has proven it doesn't work? We are so inconsistent with effort. Can tell to the eye if we've shown up to play within the first 10 minutes usually. That has been a feature of us, no doubt. Cooper Sharman. Yeah, guys, I sat at the MCG with Jake the other day and just had to bite my tongue. there is a different energy about the St Kilda faithful this week, and fair enough, and rightly so. There's a different confidence that's brewing with them. I haven't seen it like this before a game against them much, but there's a different type of sentiment coming from them. Have I talked about the Tom De Koning interview with Jared Waitley? No, I haven't. So let's talk about the Tom De Koning interview with Jared Waitley. See if I can get it up here. No, wasn't it with Dwayne Russell? Wasn't it with Russell? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, I think it was with Dwayne. Are you talking about the one on Dwayne's World? Josh? On SEN? Hang on. Let me find it. Yeah, Dwayne's World SEN from yesterday. Let me see if I can find the quotes. That would be an up the bagger's job. He essentially just deflected everything back to its conversation between my manager and the club, which, yeah, what did I make of it? I don't think he's made up his mind personally. I've gone from he's definitely leaving to I wouldn't blame him if he left to I don't know. It's a big decision. I don't know. I don't think he's made his decision yet. With conviction, that is. I think he's weighing it up. And I think he's still weighing it up and rightly so. What do you think? Plan B is a tablet you take after that moment when you go, not my type, but they do make me laugh. You have an adult sleep. They think they will beat us, that's why. Yeah, they have beaten us 7 of the last 10 times. So the 3 times in that 10, 2023 during the run, where they laid like 51 tackles in the first half. 2021, late in the season, Charlie Curnow's first game back, lockdown, so nobody was at Marvel. And then 2019, 55,000 people at the MCG. Tatum, do you think they're delusional like us Carlton fans? They're lucky they've got Ross Lyon coaching them. I don't know. Are they delusional? I think Ross has given them a real different attitude. Yeah, TDK with Dwayno. With Dwayne Russell was great. So that today's opinion was he thinks TDK will stay, just his guess. Josh, you think he's made up his mind? Josh, I reckon I was talking to you about this after the Doggies game. I haven't seen you in a little bit. I think the paperwork is done. Do you think it's done and he's going, or it's done and he's staying? Thought it was an okay interview. Thomas, I think the club could benefit from a dedicated element elite level performance psychologist. And what's the rationale behind not investing in this so far? Elite level performance psychologist. Interesting. Baz, you think he's gone? Dion, you think he's gone? Heidi, you think he's gone? More likely to stay than go, Sandra. Wait. We did a poll about this a few weeks ago. I'm going to do another one. A pulse check. Do you think TDK stays at Carlton, leaves Carlton? Tom de Koning. All right, let's see where you're at now. So there's a poll in the chat on YouTube. Lebowski, GTA 6 got delayed a year, but hey, we're getting a low effort attempt of an AFL game in AFL 26. I have AFL 26. I don't know if I... Wait, do you want to see AFL 26 streams, like genuinely? Do we want to go back to that? So I have the game. Tatum's tantrum. You feel like he's gone, but if he was staying, surely he'd sign. I think part of it maybe he wants to see how we go for the rest of the year. Yeah. Fair. I'm telling myself he's staying, but it's more in denial than anything else. Frank, you think he's gone. Slobber, you think he wants to see how St Kilda are tracking towards the end of the year before making a decision? TDK's full Johnny Bairstow coming in 5th, dropped 50 runs on the board. But if you're St Kilda, and you're a fan, first of all, are there any St Kilda fans in the chat? Secondly, if you're a St Kilda fan, do you really want to be paying 1.7 million for one player? Like, do you honestly want that, or do you just want the bragging rights of saying we took a player off, like one of Carlton's best players off them? I don't know. When Dwayne said, "Do you think you're closer to a flag at Carlton to a flag?" he went quiet. Okay. Terry goes, "Are they delusional?" He's got bro saying, "How are you going to stop Cooper Shum?" Yeah. You know what? I have to play this bit. From... So Jake and I filmed 2 versions of the interview at the G, right? Where is it? Oh, there's this bit in here where he just gets me. Just gets under my skin. Starts talking about Ashton Moyer. Where is it? Okay. Check this out. And he just winds me up, and he does it very well. Check this out.
Just come off one of the all-time Friday nights. We're going to be bouncing back again.
Why don't we make this a yearly tradition?
What?
Friday night footy, Spud's game at the MCG.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people want Saints Carlton to be the Good Friday game because North continue to just stuff it up. You know
I
what
would
I mean?
love that.
Saints Carlton
Actually,
Friday
wait,
night
no,
at
I
the
don't want
G?
that. I don't want that.
Why?
I need.
You like the easy
I need as close to
You
a
don't wanna
guaranteed win as
change it.
possible.
That's the one you look at the calendar, you're like, yeah, lock that in.
This is not a guaranteed win, especially at Marvel.
Yeah. No, I'm much more confident playing the G. I said it in your video, but I'm just excited to see the Darcy Wilsons, Naz have that extra space.
Just listen to this. The Lance Collard, Ashton Moyer dig.
Collard player, like a player that Blues fans probably don't know too much about, but he's been really, really strong.
We know about him.
You know about Lancey? Oh, you were going to draft him.
Well, that's right.
Look
Pommy,
at him, right?
he was one of the boys on the radar.
And you got Ashton.
Got Ashton
instead.
Moyer.
Yeah, and he's been going all right.
See what I mean? It's that like he see this is that smugness that I'm talking about. This is what I mean.
I'm just asking. I'm glad this one's on the Saints TV channel because I'll be copying.
It's that smug passive.
Do you think I know that much about Ashton Moyer? Like, I don't. I'm asking how he's going, mate.
Yeah, he's going okay. He's not quite playing senior football, but he's going okay.
Yeah. Look,
he just does it so well. It's good for footy. It is truly good for footy. I love Smug. I mean, I don't like Smug Jake, but I also think Smug Jake is great for content. Absolutely love it. It's the bait. Yeah. He sucked me right in. Huss, the male. What was the male? The male was Doc and Carol out for Silvani, maybe in bins. I think that's what the mail was. Kay didn't love the banter. So do I. I think it's bloody brilliant. Kareem, you feel like there is this conception that TDK can't go like Ruckman don't win your premierships. Yeah. You swear? Yeah, Collard did get suspended. Moya is a star. We are mismanaging him. He doesn't belong in the seconds. I don't know. He played against the Pies and he was clearly not ready for the level. He's smug because the Saints have already doubled their expected number of wins for the season. If I was a Saints fan, I would be feeling okay about where we're at as a St Kilda fan personally. Had a tough start in terms of the draw. So I can see where the confidence is coming from. And I think it's all Ross. I think Ross has just given them an attitude. My fave about the TDK rumors is people thinking 10K after tax per day, per payday, and being 10 minutes away from said mates won't change his mind. In reality, he'd be mental to turn down that cash. Yeah. Huss, the mail's on the money. All right. We'll find out. We've got 13 minutes. Oh, yeah. Last chance. I'm going to delete the link. Last chance to enter the giveaway for the tracksuit. I'll give it another couple of minutes and then I'm going to deactivate the link. If you would like to enter, you are welcome to. If you are a member, you already are entered. If you would like extra entries, you can get them. I'm going to put the link one last time. The link is pinned to the live chat. And then I'm going to deactivate it. Entries will close. And then 6:30, I'm going to spin the wheel. So the teams will drop in 10 minutes, 10 to 12 minutes, even though we have the mail apparently. And then we'll go from there. So now the poll, 169 votes. 65% of you think De Koning will stay. 64% of you think De Koning will stay. Interesting. I think he'll stay. I don't know why. I wouldn't blame him if he left, but I now think he'll stay. Hello, Joe. The Saints are not going to pay 1.7 million, only $1 million, and Carlton will keep him in throwing a bit of extra cash. Yeah, Ashton, he's struggling to impact at VFL level, let alone AFL. Yeah, he's having his moments, but he's not doing it for long enough. Tribal Chief, Saints are confident because they know that their direction, hit the draft and free agents, where the Blues is it has to happen now 3 steps forward, but maybe it's 1 step back this year. Oh, maybe. The chat Pommy and I had on Monday, I think, is a really important one. Like, this is it. This is the group. These are the investments, the core contracts, the highest paid players, the long-term deals. Like, this is them. Charlie, Harry, Jacob, Walsh. These guys. I mean, De Koning, if he stays, like, these are the guys that, they're in their prime now, 25 and above. Cripps is 30, 31. Like, this is it. This is the group. This is the window. Hello, Joel. You feeling good about tomorrow night? I like to see it, my friend. I love to see it, actually. All right. I'm closing entries. Entries Right, let me unpin this link. Entries are officially closed. Done. All right. 6:30, spinning the wheel. Is Carlton's worry that Saints don't have much to offer us in a trade, so push to keep? Well, no, he's a free agent. The issue is we're not going to be paying him 1.7 per year. Sam, you think he'll end up at Geelong? Tatum, worst thing about having a floor season is we've traded our first and second round draft picks away. Lower we finish, the stronger we make the Hawks. Yeah. When was our last night win? That's a great question. When was our last night win? Was it Geelong last year? I don't think that was that night. I think that was Twilight. Ethan, I think you're right. I think it was Essendon. Geelong 2024, for some reason, I thought it was a 3:20 game. No? Geelong was night? Oh, it was a night game. Okay. That's a great question. Simon Lyon, you would stay at Carlton. Just think of Buckley. If he had stayed at the Lions, he would be a 3-time premiership player. Joel, we will be spinning the wheel, my friend. Don't you worry about that. Well, I think Boydie will play. I don't know. Let's see if his highlights are up. Wait, is there anybody's highlights from the VFL that you would prefer to see if you had to pick one? I'll see if Carlton Blues fans has got them up. Got the goals. It's got Jackson Binns' game, Hudson O'Keefe's game, Pitto's game. O'Keefe. True. If Binns is the one that has the mail, let's have a look at Binns' game from last week. Let's see what happened.
Tilly spears it inside the 50. Slapped away by Padaski. Hand pass comes towards Lafroy. Slight little fumble. Binns gets the hand pass back. The Blues under siege out of defence. He's been very excellent. Hand pass out the back door to Lafroy. That ultimately came from Payman. Lafroy tackled, and that's holding the ball. But he's been zippy around that half-forward line, hasn't he, for Coburg early?
What we see is their ability to transition with hand.
Still a chance for the Blues to work it forward. Camporelli, that's ultimately of the Ben variety, giving it back. Binns out wide. Farrell towards centre wing. Mark dropped. Mason affecting the spoil there for Coburg. Binns runs onto it, spears it towards Levy at half-40 with Gibbet short. Padaski went over his head. Good pressure there from Allison. Blues trying to over away. Keogh. Quick hand pass. Tomasiello, poor kick. Gives it up straight to Binns. He just rushed it there. Big fly. Takes the mark on the chest. Gives it off to Binns. 55 metres out. Kick towards full forward. Pitya. Here's a chance now for Ben Camporelli. Tried to go off the ground. He's got Binns on his outside. He'll get it back with the 1-2. Binns getting it from Vickery. Binns off a step. Works it towards full forward. Was there a shove out there? O'Keefe has taken the mark. All there from Boyd. Carves an opportunity for Vickery. Hand pass over the top from Stevens. And a regular in the Carlton VFL side since coming into the squad early last year. Binns getting involved. Hogg and go. The ball bounces. Still bouncing. Eventually it's taken by Phillips. Rockets a hand pass off to Binns. Works it forward for Carlton. Good spot up there. He loves a big fly. Couldn't take it that time. Brommel. Andrews down behind the play. His faculties at least. Pitnet tries to hand it off to Moyer. Went without it. Just sizing up the options here. He goes short to Binns. Oh, he caught one. He was made to earn it from Mason.
Yeah, I
and
agree
a
with that.
50-metre penalty. Does that have an impact on the contest? Binns did well to evade the contact. Chips it towards Levy at half forward, and Harry Levy takes the mark. Can wrench it clear. Hand pass from Charleston. The Blues have the numbers. Lucas Camporelli, hand pass to Binns, who chips it short on. Coburg still hold on to that 15-point buffer. Pitnet, great desperation. He's been good today. Binns sweeps the hand pass, and Arto's there. No one can gain clean possession. Spills out to Binns. Snap by Jackson Binns. Oh! He kicks the goal. They're still there, the Blues.
They just kept the ball alive, kept it moving. Well, Phillips can be a bit nervous with his kicking.
Wilson to Phillips. Hold on for one more day. Binns at left half back. Drills it towards centre wing. Ramshaw. They've got 3 players. Luke. Good relieving mark for the Blues. Harvey, they need to move it. They're 28 and a half minutes into this final term. Binns has been good. Kick towards Levy, who's back on the ground. They have, but I think all credit needs to go to Coburg. They lost their ruckman.
So that was Jackson Binns in the VFL. 33 possessions, 8 inside 50s, 8 rebound 50s, a goal, 8 marks, 6 intercepts, 2 tackles and 2 clearances. Yep. Let's hope he can finally stand. Well, let's just see if he's named. We are going to find out in minutes. 6:15, I believe. Teams come out. And then 6:20. Hopefully the website's working this week. More Binns than bin night. Yeah. Play Binns. Sorry, Lebowski. I try. Paolo. Blake Acres carrying a knee niggle. One to keep an eye on. All right. I was not aware of that. Campbell, the leaks. So the leaks were saying... what were the leaks saying again? Doc was out and Carroll was out and Sauce in and Binns in. That's what the quote-unquote mail was. You would love to ask Voss about the lack of development in our young draftees compared to other clubs. Can we steal Geelong's recruiting and development team? Well, Geelong stash away. The difference is, though, Geelong stash away their kids and don't play them. And they let them develop in the VFL. Like, no one's hearing about George Stevens, for example. Inside midfielder, coming along nicely. There's no raging fan saying, play Stevens. We're now seeing young O'Sullivan playing. He was stashed away there. Like, it's all good. We want Geelong's recruiting and development team. We also need Geelong's fan base's patience with their draftees because they put them in the VFL and let them develop before exposing them to AFL level. We say, play Moyer straight away. Play the kids, first-year players. Play the Camporelli boys. Put the twins in. So I think it goes a bit of both ways there. Hello, Daniel Steinlein. There's been a lot said about Motts. Think he'll keep his spot. I, for one, think he's been one of our worst, even when we were at our best against Geelong. I think he's had 2 poor games in a row. But what's the alternative? Francis Evans? Do I remember when people used to love the club and no leaks occurred? When did Carlton come second? Like Banter? Yeah. That was when we were on the run. All right. 6:15. Is anybody watching Channel 7 with the team news? Floyd, where does Young play? See where they name him. I'm not sure. I'm on 7. Nothing yet. Okay. Nothing so far on 7. They'll drop online in 5 minutes. Otherwise, Channel 7 usually do the sports report. Nothing out there. Get the AFL website ready. Oh, by the way, haircut watch. Walshy got a fresh cut. Posted about it on his Instagram. Let's see how it goes. Teams are in. Okay. What are the teams? Brett Thornton in. Paul Bowers out. There's a flashback. Our draftees are considered messiahs by the fan base. It's true. Over the last 20 years, we've become St Kilda. I really hate saying this, but it's true. Rocco, I'm telling you. Although I think Walshy needs a little bit more length on the front, personally. But we'll see how this new haircut goes tomorrow. Because he's still kept the little fade bit here, but he's just gone with the little, I don't know what you call it at the front, the fringe. Suvani, Binns, Evans, Doc, Fogg, and Carroll. Really? Fogarty dropped for Francis Evans. Wow. That wasn't in the mail. Hey, where was that at? From Channel 7. Suvani, Binns, Evans in, out, Doc, Fogarty, and Carroll. Wow. LS, you didn't get the Fogg memo this morning. Must have been a late development. Maybe the leaks are going to stop. I don't know. You know, when they put the photo, they put a carousel up on Instagram, and the first photo was Francis Evans shaking hands with Sardi. I thought that he might have been playing.
Hey, look, VFL like clockwork. Told you, Franny Evans, Jeffers, he's back, baby.
Here we go, baby. Aiden, crash out, commence.
It was the worst kept secret. I said it in my VFL rap. As soon as you see a role that is identical in the AFL, you know it's happening.
So you think, yeah, okay. So do you think Motlop will go
Motlop back to forward, Jeffers? Or it's simple. Jeffers is playing the forward role. That would be the most scouted thing. He's trained as Motlop.
Jeffers?
Yeah, Evans. That's what we call him.
Why Jeffers?
Oh, because there used to be a soccer player called Francis Jeffers. And when I did the draft, the MSD preview, I was speaking to a good mate of worst footballer you've ever seen in the UK. And I said Francis Jeffers, and it stuck in my head. So in that video, when I kept referring to Francis Evans, I kept calling him Jeffers because of my mate. So his name stuck. We just call him Jeffers now.
Yeah. Stephen, did I see Brody Kemp at training? I did. I saw Brody Kemp. He was in a moon boot. He was riding on the bike and just doing, things on the side. Chincotta was training. Oh, and hey, Nick Newman, the guy's doing full ground drills. Like not contact, but full ground drills. So could be back.
I'm just going to DM Jake. How you stopping the Ev dog?
Can you believe? How's the little passive aggressive? Oh, who'd you guys draft? Ashton Moyer. Oh yeah. Oh, how's he going?
Oh dear. Well, I mean, To be fair, we deserve it, don't we? We deserve it.
Yeah,
we do dish it out, Terry. So we deserve it to come back.
I guess you're right. All right, teams are in. Let's see if this website is working this time around.
Matt Carroll, I can't believe it. Honestly, let him make a mistake, man.
Yeah. Jack Silvani will return after missing through a hand injury. He's joined in the side by wingman Jackson Binns, who returns for his first game of the 2025 campaign, as well as Francis Evans. Binns has built steadily into the VFL season and produced his best performance of the year, producing 33 disposals, kicking a last quarter goal to be a standout for the Blues on Sunday. It'll be his first game since the last time the Blues played St Kilda in the final home and away game of 2024. Evans was nominated as the best player afield for the VFL Blues last weekend, recording team highs for clearances and tackles inside 50, while also recording 6 clearances. Okay. Lockie Fogarty will miss tomorrow night's game after feeling some minor hamstring tightness that saw him unable to complete Wednesday's main training session. At this stage, he is expected to return in round 10 with his availability to be determined next week.
No one wants to talk about it as well, but we've gone in incredibly tall. Look who's kept his spot.
Lewis Young.
And who went knee knocking last night?
Oh, Charlie. Okay, let's break this down. Sard, Wiedering, Young, Hollins, McGovern, Haynes, Walsh, Cripps, Hollins, Walsh named on the wing, Akers on the half forward. Okay, Mackay, Jesse Motlop, Durden, Kerner, Will White, with DeConing, Chera, Hewitt as the followers. Silvani, Binns, Lord, Evans, and Cowan on the interchange bench, with Carroll, Doherty, and Pitternet emergencies. Have you got a theory about who's the sub based on team selection this year?
No. I mean, we can play process of pommelation, we'll call it.
Okay. It's not Jack Silvani.
Yeah, it's not. If you, I mean, but then again, we did play a ruck as a sub, but you don't play a key position player as a sub. Jackson Binns, would they have said he returns to play as a sub? Probably not. Probably not, because that seems weird, right? Cooper Lord, the serial sub. Francis Evans could be. Do you know what I mean? Because there's not much hype about him coming back in the side. And then Lockie Cowan could be the sub. But then I would ask, why have we got 8 defenders?
That's a good question.
And then little conspiracies. Lewis Young still in the side, which doesn't make sense because then you're going with 5 toes down the back.
Yeah, and the Saints don't. Let me get the.
And the Saints have got what? Caminiti, he plays back anyway, but Dougal, Howard, Cal Wilkie are their backmen. So Caminiti usually plays back, will swing forward, but then Sharman and Machito Owens are their 2 big boys in the forward line. So they're not exactly grossly tall. And then you've got Blake Acres at half forward when I'm not too sure why he's named there. And Paul's claiming he's injured.
Mm-hmm. So what if... Well, if Blake Acres is carrying a knee and isn't going to play, you would think that's a Sam Doherty late in?
I would guess Matt Carroll, because then Matt Carroll goes to halfback, Ollie Hollins plays wing.
Okay.
Would be a guess, but you've got a point there. Sam Doherty could come straight back into the side.
Is it like their way of having him there?
It's bizarre. It's bizarre, but I mean, stop trying to read into it too much.
Fair.
I'll be honest with you.
It's just not that deep, bro. No player with under 20 games experience has ever survived a bad game in the Voss era. They've all been axed immediately. Doc to replace Akers late. Maybe.
I do find it very bizarre because, I mean, one thing you can dispel, right, is, play three toes, stretch teams and stuff. The modern day AFL has kind of disproved that theory. Do you know what I mean? Because if the Adelaide method was so good, don't you think every club would do it? And if that was the case, wouldn't the Adelaide method be impossible to beat, which it's proved this year that you can beat it? So I can't explain the Lewis Young one. I can't explain. I'm not bagging Lewis Young. Hope he does incredibly well this weekend, but I wouldn't have said this weekend is the weekend to go incredibly tall.
Yeah.
Because the way Saints play, and they're incredible at it. But their whole mantra against good sides is to slow them down. So they did that against Fremantle incredibly. Their midfield found a lot of the ball, Fremantle, but they couldn't use it. And they kept going sideways, and that the pressure that he applies just slows you down and keeps you in the contest for longer. So the theory to beat Saints and the 6 teams that have done really well, the 2 teams that they've beaten, Geelong and Fremantle, are the teams that struggle spreading. But teams that have spread well against Saints beat them by 40, 50, 60 points. So it is fascinating that we've gone that mantra because it is a very roulette game against a side that is so well structured of adding an extra toll.
Wow. How do you view this game from the what does it mean if we win? What does it mean if we lose?
I think you're already at the stage now. I think if Carlton fans are totally honest with themselves, that top 4 is probably gone.
Yeah.
And I think you're probably 2 losses away from being totally out of top 8.
Yeah, top 4's out of the question.
I think top 4's definitely gone.
Barring a miracle run.
And I think on average 13, I reckon 13 probably gets you in this year with just how tight the ladder is.
Yeah.
We've got to get another 8, 9 wins?
10.
10, yeah. So 10 out of 15?
I can find 10 wins.
Oh, I'm sure you could. I've seen your ladder predictors, mate.
I'm going to spin the wheel, give away a prize, and then
are we calling someone?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah!
Yeah, we're absolutely calling someone. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to spin the wheel, give away the prize. Then I'm going to show you where I can find 10 wins.
Oh,
sound good?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. It's time to give away this 1999 International Rules tracksuit, jacket, matching pants. It's time to spin the wheel. All of the names are loaded and ready to go. Okay. Let's get the last couple. Peter Vlahos, I got you. You were the last. Tickets. All right. It's time.
It's time.
Good luck. So I'm going to spin the wheel. Hopefully, the person who wins picks up the phone. If they don't pick up, well, they need to accept the prize. So we need to make sure that happens. In the event that someone's name is called out, I call, we just can't get through. Look, let's just see what happens. This always turns out to be a fucking disaster.
I've got a good vibe about this one, actually.
What, you think this will just be straightforward?
I think this is going to be the first time it's ever straightforward. Like, I'm not even up and about and taking the piss.
All right. Guys, it's time for the giveaway. Let's go.
Fucking hell. Suspense is killing me. Jesus. Milking it like an entry inside 50. Julie! Get around her!
Huge. Julie. Wow. I actually spoke to her recently as well. Oh.
Oh, Julie. Julie.
A fan favorite. Where is she?
Me, Julie.
Me,
Everybody
Julie.
loves Julie.
Come on, Julie.
Hey,
Julie.
Terry, how you going?
Good, thanks, Julie. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
What are you up to?
I was just, I was just reading the team for tomorrow night.
What'd you think?
Yeah. I'm glad that Charlie's okay. Great to have Sauce back, boy. We missed him last week.
We did.
I wasn't surprised that Doc was dropped. I was a little bit surprised that Matt Carroll was. But, yeah. What about you? What did you think?
I was a bit surprised to see young Carroll go, but
Yeah.
by the same token, another youngster comes in bins. So he gets a crack, and he's been toiling away in the twos. So I don't know. We'll see. It's all about tomorrow night now.
We will. And it's not going to hurt Matt Carroll. Like he's so early in his career that'll be fine. And yeah. But I hope they do better than last week, Terry.
Well, they'd want to, because there's going to be a pretty angry reception if they don't.
You're not wrong. How could they go from Geelong to that last week? It was shocking. But anyway.
Anyway, hey, I've got some news for you.
Yes.
By the way, you're live on the team show. You have won.
You're kidding me.
You have won the 1999 tracksuit.
Are you kidding me?
No.
I saw it online yesterday. Oh, how
Yeah.
wonderful.
Absolutely. You have won it. So I will post it out tomorrow. And you might, I don't know what you're going to do with it. I would suggest getting it framed, because it is extremely rare and you won't find it anywhere in the world. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Thank you, Terry.
No, thank you. Thanks for being a member.
Yeah. Oh, that's my pleasure. And oh, wow. Thank you so much, Terry. That's great news.
No worries. I'll be in touch after the show and we'll
No worries.
go through some more details. But
Okay.
yeah, you have a good
Hi,
night.
everyone. Yeah, that's great. Fantastic.
All
Thanks,
right.
Terry.
See ya.
Bye.
Can I just say,
Julie's Australian accent is so hot. She's got the perfect Australian accent. Well played, Julie. I enjoyed that.
can I just say, Julie's summation of the changes was spot on. Like, it's okay. Matt Carroll, a bit sad for Matt Carroll, but he got a taste. Now he goes back. Now he dominates in the twos and comes back in.
Yeah, it was, look, couldn't he disagree with Julie? Far be it from me to disagree with her. But no, I thought she was very good. Like, it was good darts. Would listen again.
Would listen again. Now, I want to do a little something here.
Oh, no. Here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Copium Abroad.
Okay, fine. It's copium. No worries. If
No, I enjoy it, Terry, because look, we need it.
I'll tell you this. You can play along with me. Be as real as you want. Be as real as you want. All I'm saying is you need about 13 wins to play finals and about 16 or 17 wins for top four, right?
Let's do it. Come on, then. Let's go, Taz. Let's go. Come on, I'm with you. I'll
So-
ride in this with you.
So do you find a win tomorrow against the Saints?
Look, don't care what anyone says about the team. You could have named any formation of 23 players, and I would still say we would beat these fucking idiots. So yeah, Carlton win.
Sydney at the SCG probably won't be favourite.
Can I just say, are we just doing Carlton's results and ignoring everyone else so we finish top of the ladder?
No.
You're clever. No. You're clever.
What I'm doing is I'm just seeing if the season is as dead as we think, because apparently we can't find 13 wins in a season, 14 wins.
Okay. I was going to say, this is genius, though, if you've done this. So you can be like, see, we've done your ladder, Pom, and we're top of the ladder. Sydney. Sydney, loss.
I did as well. I put it as a loss, okay? Giants at Marvel.
Blues by a long way. GWS aren't a football team.
Okay. Then we get the bye. We could lose that, but I think we'll be all right.
Win that one.
Essendon.
They'd want to fucking not. I'll give you a sneak preview. All the promises of not doing fan cams angry, kids can fuck right off if they lose that game.
I would be tipping Carlton. West Coast.
Look, the next two, yeah, guarantee.
Okay. West Coast and North. Then Port Adelaide in Adelaide. We do play them again at Marvel. I personally just split this. I'll say we'll lose in Adelaide and we'll win at Marvel. Deal?
Okay.
Collingwood for the second time. Can we, maybe?
So I'll be post by towards the what round's this? Round 19, round 20?
Round 17.
Oh, fuck. We've still got loads to go. Pies.
Okay, fair. They've got our measure. No worries. We'll lose to Brisbane at Marvel. Brisbane, the premiership team. They asked the question enough. I'll give Brisbane. Yeah, I'll give Brisbane that. Can we beat the D's at the MCG?
Oh, dear. Two sides that try and ball the shit out of the middle. Carlton.
Okay. Hawthorn in the rematch at the MCG. Maybe the Hawks. I don't know. Maybe
so that'll be round 19 now?
Round 20.
Round 20. So what? Will Day is final weeks of the season, so probably a bit too early for Will Day. Depends what injuries they have. If it's now, Carlton, if there's any more injuries. I mean, if it's now Hawks, if there's any more injuries, Carlton, but we'll be logical, Hawthorn.
Okay, logical, Hawthorn, fair enough. Freo at Optus.
Optus.
Yes.
Fraudmantle. Where are we now on the win ladder?
36 points divided by 4 would be 9.
Freo.
Okay. Gold Coast at Marvel.
Carlton.
Okay. Port Adelaide at Marvel. We've kind of agreed that we'd split them.
Yeah, we'll split. We'll split. I was happy.
All right. Essendon again. Last game of the season.
Yeah, surely not. Where are we on the ladder, though? So have we got 12 wins?
Okay. With a win against the Bombers, it would be 12.
Okay.
So, and then, maybe we pinch one here or there. It's possible
mate, you ain't getting any negativity from me, mate. Look, 15 chances for 15 wins.
But if we lose tomorrow, blow it up. EGM.
Yeah. Can't believe you're here now.
I know.
I was at EGM round 2 and you told me off. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, look, simple matter, isn't it, really? Look, do I agree with the team? I'm with you all in chat. I don't agree with the team. However, I will caveat this. We should be a better side than them. Any formulation of the 23 you can name who are fit and available should be beating St Kilda. If they're not, why not? And I don't want to hear any excuses if we lose going, team selection's not good enough, because I think that says even more about the depth of this team. They should be, and even Jake admitted it last night. I was right that we should be ahead of them, and it shouldn't be a 50-50 game.
Mm-hmm.
Chance to prove it.
What an opportunity for a good night out.
You can hit Francis Evans all we want, but facts of the matter is, last week he did do very well, and compared to Motlop playing that role, he was a lot better than Motlop. If we have to judge it on the VFL game Motlop played in that role versus Francis Evans, I would give it Francis Evans based on that game. Binns
sounds like selection integrity then.
Yeah, Binns, country mile, stood out, played well. If he gets the attacking wing role, happy days. And I'll give Voss this. You have to spread against this side. That's where they're vulnerable defensively, is on the width. It's getting there. That's hard against St Kilda. So Jackson Binns, you've been kept away for 2 years now? This is your opportunity. If you're going to make a name for yourself, this is the team you make a name against yourself. You're going to be against some young players who are soft around the edges out wide. Go out there and take the game on, kid.
True.
Great opportunity for Binns. And if the rumours are Binns is arrogant, thinks he's good, well, fucking go out there and prove it, because there is a gentleman in their team who I gave Jake some compliments to last night, who has the same issue as Binns, evidently, a belief. And that is Mateus Philippou. Incredible self-belief. And I'll give Ross one thing. This guy defends, but he shows how good he is. So Binns has got that opportunity. He's worked hard on his defense. Come in this game. Show us how fucking good you are, Binnsy.
He's definitely been made to earn his spot back in the side.
100%. And I look at it from a Binns point of view. If I was his agent, or I was his dad, or one of his advisors, I'd be like, they gave it to Lucas before you. They gave it to Doc before you. They've tried just about everyone. Probably the only people who haven't been tried on the wing is me and you.
Oh,
so you're the last cab off the rank. Prove them wrong. Go out there and have fun.
Is this cope or hopium? But is this the Jackson Binns legacy game? Is this it? Like it is actually the perfect storm, because everyone will always look at what's wrong, but Binns, it is the perfect opportunity for him, and he has been made to really eat the shit sandwich.
Yeah, and look, we talked about it last night on team selection when some of the lads were against. Jono was against Binnsy coming in. And my defense for Binns, and I've not picked Binns all year, so you can take this as Pom picking a player who deserves it. I said I couldn't ignore how hard he worked last week. Like for me, it screamed off the game. I want to fucking play finals. I want to play in this team. And I was like, you can't ignore that for me. He was the only one. He was the only one, really, who literally put his hand up and said, I need to play.
I like it.
It was a very impressive game. So I'm glad he's in. The only gripe I've got with team selection, I don't care about Kerno is a layout. Don't care about Blake Ake is a layout. I don't even care JSOS is in. I couldn't give a shit. The only one I care about is Matty Carroll. When we talk about development, I don't believe you can drop a player after one bad game.
That's true.
I genuinely believe last week he was one of the many that let this team down. The midfield, I felt all of them, including Tom de Koning, should come off that ground and feel disgusted with themselves.
Yeah. And if it wasn't for some of their names, they would have been dropped as well.
Yeah, and I feel like if I was coach, I would have done it a bit differently. I would have said to Carroll, "Look, you're on the last throws here, mate. But show me what you're made of. You know what you did wrong. Prove you deserve to stay in this side." I just feel like Doc, I understand why you drop him after 1-2 bad games. He's old enough and wise enough to do it. But I just feel I would have liked Carroll to have had the opportunity to try and prove he can earn his stripes back, because he was lauded 4 weeks ago, wasn't he? Since he's come in. One bad game.
Do you think they will play Caminiti back? Forward tomorrow?
Well, I mean, watching Saints, even though he's played a lot down back, he has swung forward. So I think that's an option to swing him forward. But I genuinely think it'll all depend on how Harry goes. If Harry and Charlie put in a performance like last week, welcome Caminiti forward. Carlton have got to make Caminiti stay back. That's it. And that's what you've got to do. That's what This is all on Harry and Charlie. They should be looking. No offense, Dougal Howard is solid, right? I wouldn't say he's a world beater though, but he's solid. Callum Wilkie, top 10 players in the league in that position. But Charlie and Harry should be looking and going, right, we've only got to split Wilkie. That's all we got to do. One of us has just got to fucking make him work. And whichever one of us gets free will batter Howard and Caminiti.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that's that. Round 9 incoming. How exciting.
Massive game.
Yeah.
But it's a great game. It's a new challenge for the Blues. They had a challenge last week, the slingshot side, against our forward pressure, and we said it was going to be a big, tough game. And they failed the task. This time, it's a different task, because they're not going to hurt you on the slingshot. They're going to hurt your game. That's what they're going to do. They're going to make you play slow. This is the ultimate test. This, I think, is harder than last week for the Blues, because this is all about controlling the speed of the game. And I would say, if you said what's our worst facet of our game, controlling the speed. Our ability at controlling the momentum is, I would say, up there with North and Eagles.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
And this is what Saints do. Saints make you slow down to play to their strengths. This is where I'm looking at Cripps. Said it in my preview that's just gone up while we're live. The matchup for the Blues here is have George Hewitt on Steele. That, for me, that's it. Get Cripps away from it. Give them some problem. And say to Hewitt, you are better than Steele. And then it's going to be that battle between Cherer and McRae, the guy that gets the first possession using the ball.
Yeah.
But that's what Cal want to do. If we get into that problem like last week, oh shit, the midfield's going away from us and they bring Cripps next to Hewitt, then it becomes slow and stodgy. That's what happens. That's what Saints want. Saint will want to look across at centre bounce and see Cripps and Hewitt the same side.
Final predictions?
Carlton by 11.
Yeah. I reckon the Blues by 8. Like, squeaky bum time, ugly win.
I don't predict a sexy game of football, but I do expect a good lesson from our boys. Good lesson. We can outfox a side that's dirty, grubby.
Yeah, they've got to find their way through it. Chat, last chance. Actually, wait, don't worry about predictions just yet, because tomorrow will be the game day stream. We'll be live tomorrow. Games at 7:40. I'll be live probably midday. I've got to get ready for a bike ride around the MCG tonight.
I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride my bike.
There we go.
I'll think of you, Terry, while I'm playing AFL 26, mate.
Oh, have you got it? How is it?
It was all right, actually. I played. Me and David had a little bit of a razz as it was installing on the goal kicking thing. Looks all right. It's probably going to be gash when I play it online, though, innit? But let's hope it's all right.
Yeah. All right. Well, chat. See you tomorrow for the game day stream. Peace.
Go Blues.
Go Blues.